Only four teams remain in the A-League men's final: Sydney FC, Central Coast Mariners, Melbourne Victory, and Wellington Phoenix. Only one of these teams can lift the A-League championship for this season. Our first matchup this Friday is Sydney FC. It's taking on Central Coast Mariners. What a week it's been for the Mariners, coming off lifting the Premier's plate last week and then winning the AFC Cup final just a few days ago. It's going to be a big effort for the Mariners to regroup and regather for this huge match, but Central Coast have proved time and time again that they've done a really good job of doing that. They've obviously gone through plenty of trouble throughout the season, and they've backed up pretty well basically every time. But this is a different test. Sydney FC, who are in really, really good form at the moment, and have scored 11 goals in the last two games. And importantly as well, Sydney FC winning all three matchups against the Mariners this season, going all the way back to the Australia Cup round of 32. This is a Sky Blue side who are obviously high in confidence at the moment, unbeaten in the last 10 home games at Allianz Stadium. They'll be hoping to get a positive result here, Sydney FC, in the first leg to give them the advantage heading into the second. But the big blow for the Sky Blues is that they will be without Joe Lolly, potentially Luke Bratton as well. But Joe Lolly is the one that has been confirmed. He's been ruled out for the remainder of the season, which is a huge blow for Talay's side. Central Coast Mariners, I mean, Mikael Dock is the star player for them at the moment. He's been in fantastic form, and he'll be key for the Mariners. And it's going to be a different sort of, I guess, when we look back to the last time these two teams met, it was a slightly different setup for the Central Coast Mariners. They were without Jacob Farrell. I think Storm Rue was playing at left back. This time around, you'd expect that back forward to be, Farrell, Kaltak, Hall, and Storm Rue, with Docker playing that advanced role out wide. It's going to be a really, really interesting matchup. It's a hard one to pick. As a Mariners fan, I'd love to see my side win away at Allianz in this one, but I think a 2-2 draw feels like a result that we could see in this game. And look, as a Mariners fan, I think I'd take it. I think we have to really, give credit to Sydney FC and, really acknowledge how strong they've been to finish off this season. And especially at home, they've played with a lot of confidence, and they have so much goal threat. They did so well against the Mariners earlier this season to really press them high and win the ball off them high up the park, and they've punished the Mariners this season. I'm sure Mark Jackson and his staff would have looked back at those matches and learned a lot from those matches. A 2-2 draw, again, I would take it, and it would set up a really enticing second leg in Gosford the following week. Melbourne Victory take on Wellington Phoenix on Sunday. Another huge matchup. This is shaping up to be one of the most exciting final series I think we've ever seen in the A-League men's. And obviously we had the most incredible Melbourne derby last week. They went to a penalty shootout. Paul Izzo having the game of his life for Victory to almost single-handedly send his side through to the semi-finals. Melbourne Victory have a huge test here against one of the most stubborn defences in the competition and one of the most dangerous teams on the counter-attack in Wellington Phoenix. This is an important game, I think, for Victory. I think if Victory have any hope of going through to the grand final, they need to win this game. That's for me. That I can't see Melbourne Victory getting a win in front of a packed Wellington Phoenix home ground over in New Zealand. This, I think, 1-1 draw feels like a result that we could see from this game. You look at the results from these two teams throughout the season: 3 matches, 1-1 draws in 2 of those matches, and then Phoenix grabbing a win late on in the season. And this, again, feels like a game that we could see sort of be very much a chess match, I guess, sort of a slow-paced match. And Wellington Phoenix are obviously setting up in a really strong defensive block that has been so successful for them this season, but are always so dangerous on the counter-attack, whether it's the likes of Kryev, Ben Old, Costa Barbarousis, the former Victory player as well. Of course, Barbarousis has won A-League championships with Victory in the past, coming up against his former side here. It's a really, really interesting battle, both of these semi-finals, and it's a hard one. They're both hard to pick. And I know I would have loved to tip some wins in this one, but both matchups feel like they can genuinely end in draws. And again, like I said, we'll set up really, really exciting second legs the following weekend with Mariners at home, Wellington at home. These are matchups that could certainly go to extra time in the second leg and then penalty shootout. But for this first week, these first legs, a 2-2 draw between Sydney Mariners, 1-1 draw between Victory and Phoenix. What's your predictions for the upcoming week of A-League men's semi-finals? Feel free to throw your thoughts in the comments section. Let's start the discussion. Thanks so much for tuning in. My name's Lockie, this is Coastal Football, and I'll see you in the next one.